travel here without the stress and the frustration that we all know and we all experience when we travel abroad. When we as Vincentians travel abroad, we have, for most times, have to come back home. But the tourist who lives in the US or in Canada or in the UK, they have options. They don't have to come to St. Vincent for a vacation. And they are not going to put up with the hassle that we do experience traveling to St. Vincent. And that is why they haven't been coming here. This is no rocket science. This is simple stuff. We want them to want to come here. So we have invested in an airport that would allow them to put themselves on the planes that they want to put themselves on in the UK or in Canada or in the US and fly direct. We want them to fly direct. And in 2014, they are going to have a chance to fly direct. But when they come here, we want to make some money from them too. So tonight we are going to talk about when they come to enjoy our beautiful country, what services can we provide to them so that we benefit from the investment that we are making. Well, of course, when they come, they are going to need some place to stay. And perhaps the first and most important thing for us is to start thinking about the number and quality of rooms that we have here to accommodate the visitors who are likely to be coming to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Right at this point, we have just about 722 rooms available for renting in St. Vincent. 722. In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it is just over 1,400. Now that number of rooms is far too small for us to reap maximum benefit from the investment that we are making at Argyle. We need to have somewhere in the vicinity of 4,000 rooms and more in order for Argyle Airport to make and to provide for us the benefits from the investment that we are making. So there is a demand now for us to build more rooms because no amount of marketing, regardless of the extent to which we market this country, if people want to come to St. Vincent, and now that they can fly direct, well, at least when the international airport opens at Argyle, when they can fly direct, they are going to need some place to stay. And this is where we come in. We want to make sure that we provide them some place to stay. So we want to start thinking seriously now about investing in good quality rooms and providing that service to the visitors who are likely to be coming. Of course, when they come too, they are going to want to do something. So we need to start thinking about the different kinds of services. I'm sure some of my colleagues at the head table will talk about different kinds of businesses that we can invest in to benefit the tourists and to benefit ourselves. It is mutual business. They benefit and we benefit. But we need to have some good quality restaurants, or at least some more good quality restaurants. I'm sure we do have some, but we need to have more. We need wider variety. We need certainly to start thinking about the kinds of taxi and rental car services that might be useful to the tourists who are going to be coming to Argyle. Not only to take them from the airport to their hotel, but also to provide them with transportation around St. Vincent, because they're going to want to move around St. Vincent. We need also to start thinking about entertainment. You know, some people say that St. Vincent is a very laid-back place. And after 6 o'clock, that very much happens. Now, when you go to a country that is promoting tourism, the tourists who go there expect to have some sort of entertainment. There has to be some sort of nightlife. So we have to start thinking seriously about bars. We have to start thinking about, you know, entertainment. I don't have to tell you what kind of entertainment tourists like. I'm sure you can figure it out for yourself. But we need to think about those things. So we have to think about things that would make the tourists enjoy their stay when they come here, so that they can talk about it to their friends and their families when they go back. Around the airport though, there are some big businesses that we need to set up. And one of them is to start thinking now about catering to the airline. Now, if you have a jet coming here with about 150 persons, that jet, if it is going to take people back to the country that it came from, is obviously going to need to stock up on food, because, you know, unless you are a low-cost carrier, you tend to be able to get some snacks, and some of the higher-end airlines will give you a good meal. So there is a demand, and there is likely to be a demand for catering. So we need to start thinking about catering. This, of course, is a business where you're going to need to invest a bit more, and where you're going to have to develop some expertise. But even if you yourself cannot do it, and if you have an interest in this, what you need to start thinking about is partnership. This kind of business has been done in all of the islands where you have an international airport. And so there is nothing wrong at all in seeking out firms that are providing this service in other countries and wonder whether you might be able to partner with them. As a local person, you may have some local knowledge that this foreign firm may want to benefit from. So partnership and joint ventures is one of the ways that we can go about doing this sort of thing. We have a fairly big general aviation apron, and many of the airlines that are flying the route between St. Vincent and the Grenadine Islands have already expressed interest in setting up hangars to provide service to the private jets as well as to their own aircraft. But there is going to be a demand for services to private jets that come from outside of the region. We call this service fixed base operator. It is pretty much like an operator of an airport, but on a miniature level. We are essentially talking about providing all of the services that these jet setters would need, because these jet setters tend not to want to have to do anything when they come to a destination, and they pay very well for someone to do provide all of the services to them. So this is an extremely lucrative business, and we have an opportunity at Argyle for someone to set up him or herself or his firm to provide fixed base operation services. We are going to build a cargo terminal. You know that there is at Argyle no cargo terminal at present, but at the Argyle International Airport we will construct a cargo terminal, and we intend to find a private firm to manage this cargo terminal. So here again is another opportunity for anyone who has an interest in this kind of business. Of course, this is an area in which you're going to have people who have experience in providing management services for cargo. And there is an area where you, if you are going to be interested in it, you should start by investigating firms that might be providing the service in other countries to see whether you can enter into a joint venture relationship with them. And this is, we shouldn't and we must not undermine ourselves into thinking that we can do these things. In fact, I have said before, and I do believe strongly, that there are many benefits from us constructing the airport at Argyle. But one of the soft benefits that we tend not to focus on is the confidence that we as a people will gain from doing something that we thought before was impossible. We all felt before 2005 that we could build the Argyle International Airport. Very few persons in St. Vincent thought it was possible. We are in 2013 and we are working towards completing the Argyle International Airport by 2014. So something that we felt, and we felt strongly, was impossible, is now becoming a reality before our eyes. Surely, that must give us some confidence. That must allow us to think that we, if we put our minds to something, regardless of how difficult it is, we can achieve it. If nothing else, we must have this confidence as a people. You must not let yourself be defeated because something is difficult. You must not let yourself be defeated because it is difficult. All of these opportunities are things that you yourself can do. You must never think that you can't do something. So, I can tell you that there is at least one person who is of evil intention and who has no experience in managing cargo facilities, but who wants to manage this cargo facility at Argyle. And if that person who is not evil intention and who has no experience in managing cargo anywhere in his or her life thinks that he or she can manage our cargo facility, why can you not think that you can do it yourself? You must fortify yourself always with the belief that I can do it. If you don't, you defeat yourself even before you start. There is nothing that we talk about here that anyone in this audience who really wants to achieve it can't accomplish. After all, we are building an Argyle International Airport. They say it could be done. They did say it could be done. So I want to encourage you to be strong, to be purposeful, and to ask God for the strength, and to be determined. And whatever you set your mind to, you can achieve.